Hello, beautiful ones. Well, this is going to be a different kind of video. It's actually a spontaneous one. As you see, I didn't dress up for it at all. And the reason is because I just wanted to share something that just occurred. I was on Twitter. I'm not on there every day, though I try to go on there as much as possible because, I really need to focus more on social media. Not that I don't, but I need to increase that if I'm trying to build my YouTube channel, Pristine Space. And so I go on there, I look at all the notifications, I check out the people that are, liking me or following me and things like that. And sometimes I do replies, but not a lot. But I do go through my timeline and, I like certain posts. So today, I liked some Kanye West posts. I actually watched an interview that he had yesterday with Charlemagne. And then I saw a part of a TMZ video that he did, only because it was popping up on everything. And so I just wanted to check it out and see. Anyways, so then I went back and I was looking on Twitter at the person that was on TMZ with them, Candace Owens. I'm sorry, Candace, I don't know who you are. I'm not political. I'm not American. I'm in this world, but I don't live in this world in the way that most people live in this world. And I certainly do not engage in a lot of the drama and the conflicts and a lot of things that go on in that world. I have awareness of it, but I also come from a different perspective and a different awareness of things. Anyways, I liked first of all, I went to Candace's Twitter to see who she was, and I read some tweets and I liked a few of them. Okay, I didn't engage that much. And then I saw a tweet that she retweeted of Kanye's, and I really liked that. So then I went and I responded to a couple of them because from my perspective and my intuition, I see Kanye at this moment, he calls it he had a breakthrough through all the experiences that he went through in the last little while. And that's wonderful. And I agree with that. I don't see, people can break down, but usually a breakdown is to have a breakthrough. And how far you break through is up to you. So to me, I also see that he had, he's having, like a lot of us are having right now on this planet, because that's what we're going through. And I'm not going to get too metaphysical or esoteric, but that is the bigger picture. And we are going through awakenings in different stages, and how that presents itself to everybody. There's similarities, and of course, there's an individual experience. So in my view, in my perspective, he's going through the stages of awakening. And because he's a public figure, he's expressing that. And of course, he's always attacked for so many things. I have not, Kanye, beloved one, not followed you in the sense of music, because that's just not been my taste or resonance and stuff. And I've seen certain things out there that you've said, and there have been times where I thought it was brilliant, and there were other times I didn't understand it, and that's okay. But it wasn't until I had a dream about Kanye, I think it was 2014. I don't even know where this dream came out of because, again, I did not listen to the music. I don't think there was any big controversy going on. I don't really know. I don't watch news. Yes, I'm on the internet and things pop up, and sometimes I look and sometimes I don't, because I see how they relate to us as well, because there's always going to be something, having that little mirror within each of us. And since he's public, how is that playing out in the bigger picture? So I don't recall anything happening at that time anyways, and I was living in California. Now, I had very interesting experiences when I lived in California. For a while, a short time. Different people who were, I guess, celebrities, if you want to say, because most of them were, but they were also public people. So I think one or two of them were politicians, and A few of them were celebrities, maybe more than a couple, probably 4 or 5. Every once in a while, during my time there, I would have a dream. And it would be quite intriguing in the sense of that there was so much going on. They were profound. It was more like it was showing me something, either something that was in future or something that was behind the scenes that most cannot see, that I was being let in to see. And then I would hear almost more or less what I dreamt about, of course, set up in a different way, see that played out there. So, and people say, oh, you're a psychic. No, I don't know really if it's really about that. Psychic is more of the mind, intuitiveness is of the heart. And I felt that I was tuning into them in that way, coming more from their emotional, their true self, their authentic self, their God self. I was coming more in from that, and they were letting me in that way. That's my perspective. And so I think that's why I had some of these dreams. So the one dream that I had with Kanye was my friend and I that lived near me in California, and we were doing spiritual work together. In the dream, we were actually going to go teach a class or retreat, workshop, something like this. And I said, we need to make a stop. Now, this dream was very lucid in the sense of that when you have very lucid dreams, you feel them, that they are here and now happening, that you're awake. And you are in another reality. Anyways, so that's how they feel, more lucid dreaming. So anyways, we're driving along the road, and I see the building, and I said, we need to go to this building. This is where I need to go. I need to make a stop here. And I feel like I knew who I was going to see, but at the same time, I wasn't sure, because I was not only participating in this dream, I was observing myself in this dream. Like I could see it happening, but yet I was participating in it. And of course, it's true because it's all me. But I think you understand what I'm saying. I was observed. I was the observer, and I was being observed by myself. So I entered through the door, and I knew that I had to go this direction. I had to go to the right to see who I was going to see. But as I went in the door, and this was a little surprising, is I saw just over to the left, I saw Kanye sitting there. And he was all in a white suit, quite illuminated. He didn't have any smile on his face or anything. He was just very, I don't even say serious. He was more almost still. But he did have awareness of my presence when I came into the room, and so into the building. And I looked, and we looked at each other's eyes, and there was a sense of acknowledgement or recognition, right? And I thought, this is interesting. Why is he here? And then I realized who I was going to see. And I was going to see Khloe Kardashian. And she was having some big event. I don't know. It was an event for her. Not that she was putting on one. It was for her. It was more like a presentation of a recognition of her journey. And so, I just sort of looked at him, nodded, and he was looking that direction, in a sense. He was looking that direction. And so I turned right, and I went to this huge kind of auditorium, I guess, lots of people. And then I turned to the right, and I saw Khloe standing there. I think she had sort of this bluish green outfit on. It was very, very pretty with her hair up. And she wasn't speaking yet. And someone had said, she's waiting. Someone came to me and said, she's waiting for you. And so I went up to her. And of course, she hugged me, and she said, thank you very much for assisting me on my journey. And I said, it's your journey. I'm just walking beside you. And so, there was an embrace, and there was gratitude and love, and that was it. And then she went and carried on and gave her little it was a speech about, a gratitude speech. That's what it was. It was a gratitude speech. I don't know, in a sense, if there was anything else particular, but it was a beautiful moment. I knew that. It was a special moment for her and for those that were in her, around her. So I don't know if it was public so much, and maybe it was a little, but not on a grandiose the way their, the television show is and that. So basically, and then I came back out and Kanye was still there, and we just sort of looked at each other, and I left the building, went to the car, did what I need to do, carried on in the dream, went where we needed to go to teach a class. So I didn't really understand all of that at that time. I'm not going to get into much more now, but I do feel that some of the things that he's saying now, I understand where he's coming from, because that is him. That is his true self. That's awakening even more so, because I believe he was awake in certain ways. It's just how he expressed it was his unique individual way that he expressed it. But now he's transcended, and he's even gone beyond that. So, and this is what's happening. The mind control in whatever way is being dissolved. And, and he's choosing that because we co-create life. And this is what I see. So I liked some of the things, getting back to the tweets, I liked some of the things that he wrote. And I thought, I'm going to respond. I don't think he will ever see them. He has millions of followers. But who knows? There's always divine orchestration. So anyways, I just responded on a few. I'm just starting my day, got things to do, and I thought I'll send out a couple of tweets in response. The last tweet that I did, last response tweet, boom. I didn't even know if it went through because this popped up on my screen. Your account has been locked. Your account appears to have exhibited automated behavior that violates the Twitter rules. Automated behavior. I am sending a few tweets. Each one is different. And responding to what someone wrote. So how in the world is it automated? These are the tweets that I did. Love it, freely, creatively, masturbating in the white light room. It was enlightening, and shift moving in the chaos stirs the light. Thank you at KANYEWEST. I can't, I watched the whole interview and saw the authenticity and divinity from you both, except that statement was a retreat. So praising the perception shift and honesty, love lights us. Boom, that's when my account was locked. And then another page popped up and it said, your tweets are limited. So it locked it, and then it said, where is it over here? Locked, and then we've temporarily limited some of your account features. So I had to do all this verifying. I was like, I've been on 10 years this year, 10 years. I have never, ever had this. There are times that I'm on Twitter a lot, and there's times that I'm not on Twitter. I don't respond to a lot of people. Here and there, when I feel the incentive, I feel intuitively to respond and say something, I do. But I come from more of a, because this is who I am, from a spiritual consciousness, a spiritual response, or a metaphysical, esoteric response. Very rarely do I write anything just from maybe a mind response, because that's not how I think. And I certainly don't write anything, that's out of line. So I don't get that. But yet then another part of me got that. They're like, of course, they're still trying to, block him, especially when he is speaking about free thinking now and free thought, which is to dissolve the mind control that has existed for a long time in many areas of life. That was imposed, but we allowed imposition because we are co-creators and there's only oneness. But so here's the next thing that came up. So, and I'm going through this, seeing where my few tweets, where this applies. Where does this apply? Twitter rules. We believe that everyone should have the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. Ooh, boom! Well, I had one and there was my barrier. In order to protect the experience and safety of people who use Twitter, there are some limitations on the type of content and behavior that we allow. These limitations are set forth in the Twitter rules below. You have to protect my response of love and light and perception and illumination, or I agree, or blessings. I don't know. I'm not quite I don't know yet. So I thought I'm going to go down and see, where do I fit into this instant block? Content boundaries. Trademark? No. Copyright? No. Graphic violence and adult content? No. Unlawful use? No. Trends. This is an interesting one. At times, we may prevent certain content from trending. Why? Unless it's, hurtful, damaging, abusive, Absolutely. This includes content that violates the Twitter rules, as well as content that may attempt to manipulate trends. So I think that me responding is manipulating the trend for Kanye. Not really, but in their perspective, it's bringing the traffic, it's bringing the volume, it's bringing the attention there, which they don't like. Because they forgot who they are. You're one with all of us. Stop imposing boundaries and control and mind control. You can protect, yes, from some of these other things you list. Abuse, hateful speech, attacking another, insulting, all of those things. What the universal law is, do not bring harm to another. When you harm another, you harm yourself. So, in a sense, that is the thing that I would allow a block or a boundary to be imposed. Third-party advertising, no. Misuse of Twitter badges, no. Misuse of surnames, no. Abusive, absolutely not. Violence and physical harm, no. Abusive and hateful conduct, again, no. Private information, intimate media, Impersonating, absolutely not. I am who I am, and I am true to who I am. Spam and security, no. Malware, spam. So I'm going through content visibility. Sharing now. Okay, so where do I fit into this? I have no idea. Where I fit into is free speech. Recognition of another's perspective that goes against the grain of those who think they are in control. You can only control self. In any case, I did what was required to verify who I am. So I did go and check, and I wanted to see whether or not they blocked my tweets, because I think that would be even a step beyond, since my tweets are nothing but, I think, enlightening, empowering, positive, loving, and self-expressive in a good nature. So where's the problem, Twitter? Why are you blocking? Do I know on some level why? Yes, I do. I don't need to get into that. But I'm sure I'm not the only one that this has happened to. But for me, it was very strange. I am not I'm not a public person in this way. Not a celebrity. I'm not in mainstream. I'm not known. I'm very little. I'm very, little in this sense. I'm a grand being, but I'm very little. I do what I do. And those that resonate will join me on a journey here for however long. And that's it. This is how I connect with the world. In my way. But it always comes from purity of heart. And it comes from an inspiration that flows through me, that triggers within me. So Twitter, please stop putting boundaries where they don't belong. I know it might be the algorithm, but where, what in here, in any of these words, do you see abuse or harm or copyright or whatever? You know, where do you see this? It doesn't exist. Please, as my Twitter is, the world is in our hands and not separately. Please, we are in the awakening stages. Give everyone the opportunity to do that in their own way, as long as there is no harm to another. Free thinking, free thought. Kanye is correct. It always existed, but we imposed our own boundaries. We allowed self-control. We allowed enslavement of ourselves in however way we manifested that into the external world. It's no longer necessary to learn this way to journey home to who you truly are. So I picked a card from my Mystic Musing Contemplation cards. This is a whole different way of me bringing you the card of the day. But the card of the day is Divinity Quest. Perfect. I think it's totally perfect. Everyone, Twitter, everyone, because it's all run by human beings, God beings, those who exist in the oneness. But you forgot Divinity Quest. It's time for you to remember your divinity. So however you choose to remember that or experience it, it's up to you. Divinity Quest. I send you much love and blessings. Know that love lights us. Love empowers us. And that there is no separation except for that which you, by the occlusion that exists, see. The world is in our hands. Have a magical day. I love you.